Welcome back. And today I'm going to show you how to build your very own website utilizing Cursor. The first thing that you want to do is create your directory on your C drive. In this case, I'm going to call it Jez Digital Website Test. Then you want to open that folder, and that's where your file will be stored. I want to go under, for me, it's Studio Projects. Here it is. And this is the agent mode. So we want, inside the plan mode, we want to give it some information here. And we're going to give it some pre-written logic that I made. I said, make a landing page for my website, Jez Digital. I want the same content and pictures of my existing website. I just want a different look and feel, right? So I'm giving it instructions right here. Let's go ahead and start building this. I told it to ask me questions if it has any. Oh, I should actually told it not to use localhost 3000 because I have another test there, but you live and you learn. Hopefully to ask me questions, I'll tell it that then. And so what I'm doing is I'm going out, I'm writing this in Node.js, which is kind of a standard language. And I would host it at like a Versailles or something like that, right? And so right now what it's doing is it's reviewing everything. It should be asking me some questions, right? It's looking, it's coming back with the questions it's going to ask me. It says error, It says ask error. Well, it's going to try to work itself around that. Now, I've done this earlier, and it already downloaded all the scraping tools and everything else. Okay, so now it's got a few questions, right? Node.js framework. Yep. Everything looks pretty good. Okay, so it's got the questions that we need to answer, and so we'll go down here, and what we'll do is we'll answer them. Let's see. Let's just choose Express. Okay, 2. Do you have the contents, website and contents? Extract them. Okay, so it's going to go out there and scrape the website itself, right? So just to be able to show you guys that. 3, modern design. Which do you prefer? Let's go with the first one. I don't even know how to spell that. We'll call it Glass Effects. How's that? Okay. I don't even know what that'll look like. Specific. On 5, just guess. I don't know that off the top of my head, so we're going to tell it just a guess. Okay. And we're going to say also, do not use localhost 3000 because we already have something sitting out there. Do not use localhost port 3000 for this. Okay, so we answered its questions and we gave it one more instruction. Now let's go ahead and build this. So, and while that's building that, while that's building that, we'll go ahead and hit back. That's my whisper flow there. Okay, so it's generating the plan. Should come back. And while we're doing that, I will show you what I had it scrape earlier. Let me pull that up for you. Well, that's running. Okay, so this is what I had it do earlier. I had it go out and scrape my existing website. So as you can see, it did all this. And then I just bantered with it back and forth if it didn't scrape anything correctly. And I was just curious how much it cost just to scrape my existing website in Node.js. And so that if I wanted to, put it on a different provider or whatever, I could just do it and grab it locally. So anyhow, this was $1.08 to make. So, and all it did was it went out there, it scraped everything for me. And then we would banter just back and forth. We did about 3 iterations to get it perfect. It had a couple issues. Like to beginning with, it only came back with the landing page. It had a problem with the logo, and it didn't do any of the other pages, but we got that fixed. And then we had it, we just went back and forth just a couple times, and it got it. And so the reason I wanted to change localhost port 3000 is it's already in 3000. So, and basically that's it. So let's look where we're at here. Okay, so now what it's doing is it's saying, create blah, blah, blah. It still wants to use let's see. Don't, I'm going to tell it not to use port 3000. So we'll see if it, don't use port 3000. Okay, we'll see if it can use a different port. Okay, so we'll just say 880. Okay, we'll tell it to continue. You'll notice it highlighted the answer that I gave it for 8080. And so that should build that. Okay. And let's see. So we'll just say yes to everything. Hopefully it understood all of our questions. So now while this is running, let me explain a little bit what we're going to do. We're going to come back with its first iteration of the new landing page with its modern style. And we'll actually be able to see it right in the browser here. If I click on that editor button up at the top, okay, it's going to ask me several questions here. Go ahead and run. It's building it. Now up here on the left, there's the editor. Switch to editor mode. And what that'll do is it'll show you what it looks like in the browser. Now, I've been also playing around with the new Google anti-gravity, and it's not quite where Cursor is right now. I'd say Cursor is the best product out there right now for vibe coding. You know, Claude Code is fantastic. It's a little bit more difficult for beginners. I think what you're going to see is, I think Cursor could make your first billionaire, quite honestly, with AI. I think it could take someone who just has a great idea, who's not a programmer, and it can actually turn them into a billionaire just because it can code everything for you. In the old days, you know, it'd take us forever to code this stuff. And now it's going to take us longer to test than it is to code. So now it's the design phase and the test phase takes longer than the actual coding phase. Just look at this rip through it right now. So I've been playing with Cursor just for about the past week or two, and it's been fantastic. You can try a 7-day free trial with Cursor. Just put in your email and off you go. Here it goes. We're going to run a couple things here. So, by the way, this is called agent mode. This works more like the chat, where you banter back and forth with it to come up with the solution. Okay, and you'll see, by the way, it's coming up with some README markdown languages. Okay, it's coming up. It should be going out there and scraping Jez Digital, which I had already previously downloaded this scraper, and it went and grabbed its own scraper. So you could do the exact same thing. Okay, here we go. Next steps. Okay, the landing page is functional. You can view it here. Let's see if we can view it in editor. Not yet. So okay, we're going to open this in Cursor browser. Let's see how it runs. There we go. We got a new, little different there. So modern, they call it a glass design. So it doesn't have any of the pictures, I don't think. Let's see it have it check it out in an external browser here. All right, let me bring that over so you guys can see it. It started on a side screen. Okay. Let me bring that over. Here we go. All right, and so right off the bat, it didn't bring the pictures over, right? It made a lot of changes. I'm not sure for the better. Okay, get started. It's got to get in touch with us. Okay, so here's my existing site. It should still be there with the local host. There's what I started with. There's where it went to. I don't really like it. Definitely not an upgrade. You know, maybe a little too modern for my taste. But I like my existing site better. So let's go back though and go grab some of our pictures and let's tell it to make some changes. Okay, we'll say I don't like the blue background. And we'll say, what else do we want to change? We want the pictures in there. Okay. So let's go give it some changes. It's not very good, right? This is not something I would want to see, right? So now my website, I did do mine with V0. I was pretty, static with the results with V0. I think right now that's probably currently one of the best AI website builders out there, at least for the original design. This is fantastic for editing V0's design, if you ask me, right? So once you do the work and put your work into V0, you copy that up to GitHub, a private folder up there, and then you bring it into Cursor and make your changes there. Okay, so all right, so let's go back into this and let's tell it to make some changes. Please add all the photos from Just Digital, okay, to this new website. Okay, and we'll say change the background and let's see, we're going to have it change the background and the design to a white base. Okay. Use the logo from Just Digital. .com. Okay, so let's make those few changes and let's see how it responds. Okay. All right, so it's got its plan. It's like, okay, I'm gonna run. Okay, right there. Let's see if it comes back and scrapes it a little bit better. Okay, run again. So you can see right there, it went out and got all the JPEGs. Okay, we'll see if it uses them in the proper place. I've ran into that before where it doesn't put them in the right place. It'll take like a testimonial picture, right? So you have to get more detailed. But let's see how it does on its own. Okay. So once again, V0 is owned by Versailles. Versailles is like an edge computer hosting company. They do a great job, very fast. I think they do a wonderful job, especially for the design phase. I think they're the best at this. But as far as like updating a website and stuff like that, I actually think Cursor is probably the best. So personally, I would recommend that you design with V0, bring it back into Cursor, and then let Cursor go from there. So as you can see, it's working. It's adding all the pictures. It's changing the background, hopefully to like more of a classic white look or something like that. Or, maybe later we'll try a dark mode to see how that looks. Okay. So, hey, whatever questions you have, put them down below in the comments if you want me to, design something different, or if you want to see an application being built with Cursor. So, just so you know, so this probably all we've spent so far on this video as far as tokens go with Cursor is probably about 50 cents, quite honestly. And with your first week, it's free, so you get basically $20 worth of tokens. So, and so if this was all done, let me explain what you would do next. You would then take that folder that you've created and you would copy it up to GitHub. You'd want to create like a private GitHub folder for that. And then you could host it on something like Versailles or Google Cloud. Right now I'm using Versailles for my hosting. Versailles is very fast on the Edge network. And when Cloudflare had their problems, Versailles did not. So Cloudflare is another one that you could host at. So, okay, so there it goes. It's got our features, right? And so let's open in browser. Oh, there we go. Looks much more like, actually it looks like now all they've done is created a copy, which isn't bad, right? They just got probably confused. So it's like, okay, I'll just give you exactly what you want. Okay, so let's open this, bring this over here. So this is what it gave us now, which is very similar. Oh, it's slightly different, right? So that picture's a little too small for my taste, right? So, but all right. So here's testimonials for my business. Here's the links to some of my YouTube videos that I've done, I've created. Visit our YouTube channel. Okay, so we're getting closer, right? Here's that. And say, so now you can say, okay, it's got some contact information down here that you can fill in. It'll email for you. Okay, so now's about the time that you'd be like, okay, give me another page here. So we'll say, right? Oh, it's got actually got it broken up into the different sections, services. Okay, so the functionality, it works pretty well. Let's tell it to change the top, right? So we'll start there. So let's tell it, make the top picture bigger and the same size as the text. We'll just tell it some simple change like that, right? Top image, top picture, bigger, and the same size as the text. Size as the text box. Okay. All right. So there we go. It's going to come back and just do another iteration. Okay. It's going to update the CSS. So it calls it the hero image. It's going to update that size. It's going to stretch it, max width. Here we go. Well, I'd like to see this as well because I want to see if it's going to stretch the image out and make it look better, if it'll keep the correct proportions. So here we go. It did it already. So this time it put me below, I believe. We'll see. Let's go out here, open external browser. So it did make me bigger. Yeah. Yep. So as you can see, it's not perfect, right? So we got to be very detailed on it and tell exactly what you want for, I'd say, the picture size, right? So that should be more of a landscape picture, right? So let's tell it, keep the top the same. So let's go tell it that. All right. Okay. Keep the top part the same. Size as just digital. .com. Okay, so we'll just tell it keep the top part the same. Let's see if it can actually figure that out, or if I have to be even more descriptive in that. Right. So let's try that. Let's see some other changes. We want and make the contact page an exact copy of the Just Digital contact page. Okay. So it should go out, do a screen scrape, and build a new page for us. So I also want to see that. Okay. Right. There you go. So let's see if it changes that top image, if it's possible or not. Or maybe I just need to give it more detail. Normally I do give it more detail than this. For a demo, I just want to push it and see what it's capable of. So here we go. So it should be going out to do a screen scrape, at least hopefully of the, it's finding what it calls, it refers to as the hero section. So what it's doing now is it should be changing the top of that, the hero section, to just match the Just Digital. So let's see. What else can I show you guys about this? Okay, it keeps asking me to run it. Okay. It's talking about what it's going to do. It's going to replace the contact section and do the exact structure from the contact page. Here you go. And the great part about this too is once you have this all done and it's exactly what you want, a lot of times all you're changing is verbiage, right? Your header, your footer is going to stay the same. All you're changing is the middle part, right? A lot of times it's just verbiage, or you might want to add a new page. And so it's going to be a game changer, because a lot of the stuff, like the V0 site that I built for myself, 5-10 years ago, that would have cost $5,000 to $8,000 for a designer to build. Now you're just talking to AI and having it build it. Okay, there you go. It's building it. Success. Okay. It's verifying the changes are working. Okay. All right. There it is. It's got localhost. It's opening current browser. I don't think that opened a new page. So it still went all the way to the bottom, right? I'm pretty sure that did not open a new page, but let's go check it in a new browser. Okay. Open external browser. Okay. Let's refresh this. So as you can see, this did not change the top, and it didn't listen to us for that, but it did change the design, right? But it didn't put it on new page. So there you have it. It doesn't always listen perfect, but we're getting there. Here, I'm going to do another iteration of this just to show you that it should. Say I wanted the contact to be on a new page, right? Just like jazzdigital.com. You put it on the landing page. So let's at least see if we can get this working. All right, there it goes. So, like I said before, primarily what I use this for is just making small changes to it, primarily because it's cheaper than V0. V0 is great to build the initial prototype, and then after that, I already have Cursor. So if I want to make any changes to the website, I just make them in Cursor. So there we go. Let's see if it can actually figure this out on its own, or if it doesn't do it again. And also, I should change this probably from auto. I bet you if I would change it to a better engine, a better LLM, I bet you we might have better luck. Okay, let's see if this doesn't work. Okay, so the contact us, there you go. You know what though? Yeah, that's much better. Let's see. So let's see. Okay, so now let's try auto. Okay, now here's where we can actually change it. We could try the Opus 4.5, which is one of the newer models from Anthropic. They've even got the GPT 5.2. But now these models will cost you more. I can see it's using Composer. So I think what it was doing was it was doing everything in Composer. I'm kind of curious if we can change it midstream to Opus 4.5, right? And then if I tell it, change the top hero section to look like just digital. I wonder if it's going to use Opus 4.5 and if it'll respond better than what it was doing. So let's try that. Change the top hero section to look just like I want to say exactly, not look like. Exactly like. Okay, so let's see if there's a big difference in this. All right. Change the top hero section to look exactly like www.justdigital.com. Okay, so let's see that it can understand that. Okay. Run. And here we go. So now this time we're using Opus 4.5, which in my opinion is the best, vibe coding LLM out there right now. And to me, Cursor is currently the best vibe coding agent out there right now. So between the two of them, I would expect this will fix it. But sometimes you don't know until you see it. So hopefully it understood this a little better. Okay. Looks like it's doing a lot more changes this time. Okay. There it goes. Let me update the CSS to match Jez Digital exactly. Right. So hopefully that is fixing all the issues we've had. So once again, all I did for this change was change it to Opus 4.5. Okay. Looks like it's rewriting a lot of it. I noticed another problem we had was the footer didn't match either. So to continue this, I would actually tell it to copy my footer over. Okay, here we go. Should be just about done. Just about there. Just about there. Okay. Here we go. It says it's made some changes to the hero section. Oh, it got even better on the colors. Look at that. Close. Very close. It's getting pretty close. So much closer than it was. That's also a new page. So there you have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to see some other demos with Cursor, let me know what you'd like to see, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.